The next assignment is to build our very own Instagram clone. However, instead of talking to the Instagram API, we're going to be maintaining our own data using a backend as a service called Parse, and we'll talk about what that means in a little bit. This assignment has a lot of really cool functionality, and we're integrating with the camera for the first time. As a result of this, there are a lot of moving pieces, but we'll walk through all of that together. So first, let me show you the required stories. You scroll down. A user should be able to see the Instagram app icon. They should be able to sign up, log in, log out. The current user session should be persisted across app restart. So if I kill the app and then open it up again, I should still be signed in. The user should be able to take a photo, add a caption or a description, and then post it to our own backend. A user should be able to view the last 20 Instagram posts. They can pull to refresh in order to see more recent posts, and they can also tap a post to view the details of that. There's also a bunch of really cool stretch stories that deal with design and adding in fragments with the bottom navigation view, and a couple others. So here's an example of what a completed application might look like, which does the required and stretch. So you can either sign in or sign up using a new username password. You can take a picture that opens up the camera app. You can take a picture. You can add a description in this preview and then post it. And then back in the home tab, you can see all of the Instagram posts, including the one that you just made. In the profile section, you can also log out. One of the unique things about this assignment is that we're going to be managing our own data using a backend as a service called Parse. So if you scroll up to the first section here about Parse Server, let me talk about some of the terminology here. In prior weeks, for the movie database application and the Twitter clone, we were talking to existing third-party APIs in order to get JSON data using a network request and then displaying that JSON data in our application. So basically, we were punting the work of maintaining that data to another service. In this assignment, using Parse, we're going to be maintaining our own database on a server somewhere. And that sounds like a lot of work, but using the tools described here is actually a lot simpler than you might imagine. So Parse is a backend as a service. Parse, or Parse Server, is an open source project which will take care of all the complexity of managing your database and being able to modify that database and update it over time, along with a library, a client library, which you can include in your Android app so you can talk to that database, which lives on a server. The second component is that server, right? This database has to live on some server somewhere on the internet, and we're going to be using a service called Back4App in order to do that. Codepath is about building mobile apps, so we don't want to deal with the complexity of setting up, configuring, and maintaining a backend server somewhere. So Back4App will do a lot of that work for us in terms of setting up a server, maintaining it, configuring it, and making it accessible for our client or our mobile application to be able to talk to this server, which is running our Parse server, our database. In the next video, we'll get started by creating an account in Back4App and setting up an application which is running Parse server.